Ooh. Nice soft furnishings. Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to this video, Friday, isn't it? Welcome. Right, let's just get into it, shall we? Because obviously, you know, I go on, don't I? But quick interesting point is I spoke to Bob downstairs. He said, don't mention the political situation because you've got to upload your video in 5 hours and it's going to be out of date. And I thought, yeah, it's not wrong, isn't he? But yeah, look, it's a case of SOS, isn't it, for British politicians? Save our seats. Can you imagine what's going to happen in the next kind of week or so? Anyway, put all that out of your mind with records. Look, we'll get into the records, but I think you guys know that I stock more than that. It's getting a bit busy here, but I've just got some turntables in. Can you see them? So that's kind of all-in-one Bluetooth turntables. Pretty good. They're about 120 quid, I think, new. I've got them here for 89. You know, if you watch this video come in, I'll give you them for 85. I've got LP cases there, you can see. This orange one, they're about 40 quid, I think, online. That's brand new, 30 quid. Also got some other cheaper turntables here, more compact Bluetooth and just more compact turntables. They're all 45 each. They're all either new or only like used once or twice. People who I think want to get back into vinyl and then just realise it's all about the inconvenience and the hassle and you can just stream it. I understand that. I probably play more music digitally than I do on vinyl. Okay, we'll get into the stuff. I'll mention it now because I'll no doubt I'll forget. A week tomorrow, Sun Tzu is playing. So where are we today? Is that the 28th or something? But a week tomorrow. I'm going to look at the calendar and I'll show you all my amazing calendar. I have a fantastic Cliff calendar which I put up here with all my exciting itinerary of all the exciting stuff I've got to do this month. Nobody likes being pretty boring. So where are we? 29th, okay? 29th of October. That's when Sun Tzu is playing in the shop. 4:30. Sorry about close-ups of my face. You know, we've had loads of gigs in the shop now. I'm putting a little selection of all the posters up on the wall there, which I think is pretty good. Got the PA there. Got some more vintage hi-fi. We can repair vintage hi-fi. So if you've got vintage hi-fi, you want it repaired, bring it in. We can do anything. Got old turntables and stuff that have been repaired, need to be used. Right, let's get into the records. I'll put it a bit closer so you guys can see the record a bit more clearly. Got some albums, some collectibles, and we've got some 7s and some collectible 7s. So let's just get straight into the normal albums. A bit of Eurythmics here. Great album. All in, I don't know if a lot of people know, but when you get to the world of collectibles or records, there's a grading system, and it basically just describes how well the sleeve and the actual album is, how good quality it is, and you're meant to actually obviously play the record. Not every record shop will play the record, so they call it visual grading, where you haven't had a chance to play it. So it just means how good it looks, and you can do a test with the back of your hand to see if you think there's visible scratches, or you can feel them with the hairs on the back of your hand, and most likely to have an impact. But I have a policy here: if you buy something and you just bring it back, if it jumps or you're not happy with it, just bring it back. We'll sort it out. Okay? Because that's how I expect to be treated when I go to a record shop. 10cc Greatest Hits, absolutely fantastic album. Daryl Hall and John Oates. I think this is their it's pretty much near mint. The NM means near mint. Basically, it means it's been bought. It might have been played once, might not have been played at all. It's in superb condition. I really like Hall and Oates. I mean, you can't get better pop. 80s, I think I said it before, is the best generation for pop music. Wow Wow, bit of kind of hair metal from the 90s. Very diverse, multicultural band though, Wow Wow, but they never really took off in the same vein as those other bands like Skid Row and Vane. Yeah, Katrina and the Waves. So if you want to pretend that you actually, live in high fidelity, then just buy this record and then every Monday morning put this track on, which I do. But obviously there's only me, so it's only me who laughs. I think I've showed this one before, but I didn't get to price it. So this is, I was going to say S-Ray Specs, but it's not S-Ray Specs. Stiff Little Fingers, isn't it? Yeah. Stiff Little Fingers, Paul Simon, Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, nice original. Some of these originals, CBS, barely played this one. and it's in superb condition. You can get a lot of these albums from the 60s on things like labels like CBS and some of the other labels. What are the other Pie, stuff like that, in really good condition. People would have bought them and just go, that's not for me. It doesn't sound like the Stones or the Beatles. This is a great comp from Virgin. It's got some great artists on here. It's got Japan. We'll come back to Japan in a minute. The Professionals, some of the ex-members of the Sex Pistols in that, Human League, Pill, Flying Lizards, XTC, Beefheart, The Ruts, my favourite British punk band, but they were a bit more intelligent than just straight out punk, weren't they? They were all really talented musos. Kevin Coyne, amazing. Ian Gillan kind of doesn't fit on this, but okay. Mike Oldfield. Anyway, that's really cheap. Great album, great compilation. Hello. When people are coming in and they're looking at records, and some of them are quite expensive, and they might be trying to get back into vinyl, or their kids, a lot of kids come in and they're just like, because it's so daunting in it, particularly when you get like pompous record shop owners who, reminds me of that Not the 9 O'Clock News sketch about hi-fi, which is one for the teenagers, but look it up, it's quite funny. And it can be quite daunting. I just point people at the comps. I have comps for like £4, £3. Some a bit more expensive, but you can really good starting place. Sometimes they're not the best of presses, but it's a great starting place. Or if you want to pick up on 80s pop or whatever it is you're interested, just go straight to those old comps. I've got a load in the shop here, as you would expect. So come on down and have a look at them. Alright, try not to be so shaky. Smokey, greatest hits. And this is Tom, who works here on a Sunday. We're open on a Sunday, 11 till 3. So Tom's priced this up, and he's written a note. Smokey, responsible for living next door to Alice. Make of that what you will. So Tom needs a bit of work on the witty comments there, mate. Come on. Steel Eye Span, I've got a load of folk in Lindisfarne, Steel Eye Span. We've got tons of folk. Fairport, got a load of it in. More soundtracks and theatrical soundtracks. So we've got quite a few of these in. So that one is that's all going out for a £5. Loads of best ofs. So we got that. I just showed you 10cc stuff like that. These are also a good place to start because these can be quite cheap. £5. Best of the Animals. So you're not forking out. If you wanted to buy an original Animals first album, you'd be paying out more money, and obviously a bit more for collectors, but we can point you in the direction of all that kind of more reasonably priced stuff if that's what you're after, or you're after a gift for somebody for Christmas, you're not entirely sure. Commodores, love this album. One of the first kind of funky soul tunes I ever heard was Machine Gun off this, and it made me go, oh wow, what is this? And then it led me into a bit more into Kool and the Gang, and then into that whole kind of really 70s funk scene, and really from that it got me into Parliament and P-Funk. If you don't know Parliament and P-Funk, the records I've got some here, just looking at them, and I don't know if you can see them. I mean, they're ridiculously priced because they're in unbelievable condition, and they're quite rare because nobody went out really and bought P-Funk albums. P-Funk is Parliament Funkadelic. It's really George Clinton in it, but I mean, you'll know some of it. It's astonishing stuff. Really, it's fantastic. Look it up. And for its time, it's nuts. There's a famous photo of them, isn't there? St George's Hall. If they played a gig in Liverpool, I think it's Parliament. Pretty cool. I went to see him and he didn't turn up, and then nobody bothered giving us any money back. And I just thought, it's all right. It's George Clinton. You can get away with that. Rose Royce Greatest Hits. Feast of Irish Folk. So we've got loads of folk, all super affordable. Right. You might have seen some posts. Sorry for saying all the time. I know that can be annoying. Joking. Got a load of Japan in, so if you like Japan, I've got absolutely tons of it. So we've got lots of albums, lots of solo David Sylvian, some collaborations, David Sylvian and the Yellow or in fact Japan and the Yellow Magic Orchestra, and lots of 12s and lots of 7s. They're all in really great condition. Some of them are a bit more expensive, and we'll get to that in a minute because they're either really near mint, or none of them is super rare. There's some odd mispresses in there, but particularly Tin Drum, I think, is normally a relatively decent priced album, but it's quite expensive here because it comes with a poster, and that's just mint condition. Okay, so let's rock through them. So Visions of China, 12 inches here. I think that's a 12 inch. Oh yeah, I get through the 12 inches first. Ghosts. I'll rock through them pretty quick. You can see that I've got quite a lot in here. I had some in stock anyway, so I've got some spares of some of these now. These are all 12s. Bamboo houses. I think some people have already asked for some of these to be put away. So, I can't remember which for now. It's only one or two of them. So, come on down if Japan is your thing. I'll put some of these online as well. I have a store online. I'll link that to the bottom of this video. More Japan records. This one is super collectible. Second That Emotion. In this condition, right? You can get it cheaper online. Probably not in as good condition as that. That just looks completely unplayed. Okay, Gentlemen Take Polaroids. This is a rare. If you're into this sort of thing, this is what some record collectors are into. If you're not, just skip this bit. But this is a rare pressing where they stuck the label back on because they put the wrong information on the back. I've got another copy of that with it's just a standard. So this is the standard press where they didn't have to do that. So it's a lot cheaper. That's the sort of thing record collectors go for. If you're watching this, you don't collect records. You just have to vinyl to listen to the music. That's the right way to do it. David Sylvian solo stuff. This is the Japan and the Yellow Magic Orchestra, which is Japanese press. That's not that expensive. I thought that was going to be expensive. Japanese records can be expensive. It's not. That's about 20 quid, I think. Oil on canvas. This comes with a poster. I don't think it actually did come with a poster, but in here is a promo poster. I'm not entirely sure if it's come from like a record shop, for example, but there's one of them in there. These are all near mint, and the funny story about this was, dude came in last Saturday, and he just went, "Oh, do you want these? I'm just on my way to the tip." I went, "Yeah, I'll have them. Can I give you some money for them?" "No, I don't want any money for them." I said, "Mate, come on. There's some good records in here. I don't want any money for them. Just crack on, sell them, see what you can get for them. Let me know what you can get for them. I'd be interested." I was like, how generous is that? I mean, you don't want to take advantage of anybody, do you? So I offered him some money, talked through him some of what the records were. He was quite happy to support a local business, and I'm not asking anybody else to do that, by the way. I'm just saying I think that's really important. So if you're feeling in that mood to do something, I think it's a good way of giving back. So just go out there and help your local businesses, just by buying something, buy a coffee, whatever. You probably all do anyway, so thank you. Japan, that's the tin drum. You can get this album a lot cheaper, but this is in mint condition, and it comes with a poster, mint condition as well. Night Porter. Let's go through the Japan stuff. This one's a bit more interesting, a bit rarer with this text written on it, and it's got the incorrect song order on the back. Another compilation there. That's pretty cheap, 15 quid for that comp. As you can tell, there's a lot of Japan, right? A lot of you are probably thinking, what were Japan's favourite songs, famous songs? You have to go up and look them up. I was playing them on yesterday, and they're very much in that synth pop from the early 80s, more alternative, obviously. Really, really great. Quiet Life, their most famous album, I think. That and Tin Drum, I guess. A load of other 12s that have come in the shop. Some of these have been, there's inquiries about them, but came from the same collection, honestly. This is a rare Visage Fade to Grey maxi single, all in near mint condition. Oh yeah. So Mind of a Toy, some more unusual Visage, Communards. Yes, now we're talking, away from all that pompous 80s synth stuff. Look at this. I wanted to look like that when I was about 17. And very quickly, I remember the album for this, or there was an album after this, and it came out, and I was working in Crown Records at the time, and I got a promo top coming, like, to get t-shirts all the time, and I got it because I think I was the only one who was willing to wear it, but it had like a rip. It had like a rip down the front like that, where it was ripped, and I think the sleeves, it was sleeveless. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll have that, yeah, because I just thought anything free from record shop. And I think I wore it out to the pub last night, and that night, and I think I was in the George, if anybody remembers that back in the day. And I think I remember, like, me mates were out, and I just like kept putting like change and bits of paper and whatever down my top as I wasn't looking. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that top. It's probably like worth like 100 quid or something now. Thought it was a good idea at the time. And of course I had on my leather jacket with the frills, yeah? I mean, I had one. Live with that. Scorpions. Some more interesting 12 inches. You don't really see these sorts of 12s knocking about. 12s are really collectible at the moment, and I think it's a number of reasons. I think DJs like them because of their 40th pressed on the 45. That you can get a remix of the tune, you can get the original tune generally, but because you've got that wider piece of vinyl, there's effectively more room to cut the record. So you do, I guess some would say, get a better quality sounding record. Plus they're less likely to be abused unless you're getting into sort of dance 12 inches. But I think it's a reason why records were generally used. Well, there's a demand for them now, particularly through DJs, and I have some people come in and export them. Giant. The ones that are not individually priced are £2.50 in my shop, or they're individually priced. So I'll give you an example of sort of 12. I must have a couple of hundred Roxy Music 12s. So it's a bit more unusual. Human League 12s. Soft Cell. Chris Rea. I really want to keep this. Look at that. Look at that. Absolutely owning that perm. But wow, we just talked about them. Altered Images, Happy Birthday, like dance mix on it, so a bit more unusual. I'm resisting doing my anybody here like the Human League joke, but I think I've just done it. Human League, most famous of tracks, you know, and fetching a fair amount, particularly in just, again, near mint condition. So the guy on the way to the tip with this collection, he barely played any of it. All comes with posters, original sleeves, near mint condition. Amazing, really. Some more interesting stuff, bit rarer relatively, but more unusual. Stray Cats album, that's in near mint condition as well. Don't tell anybody. Bootlegs, Oasis bootlegs, which is, it's got like stuff from Jules Holland and The White Room. Remember The White Room? That was pretty good, White Room. I think I saw Rage Against the Machine on that TV show. So it's got some interesting session stuff, really, or TV performance stuff on that. Bootleg rather than counterfeit, if anybody wants to know the difference. Come in and chat to me in the shop, because I used to investigate that for a living. Gamekeeper turned poacher, I guess. Selling that Oasis is not for sale, if anybody's watching it. It's turning it in as evidence. Okay, Whitesnake. 1989. I never really got Whitesnake. I mean, they're very talented and all that sort of jazz. I just never really got it. Look at this. Just wanted to keep it. I mean, Cozy Powell's a phenomenal drummer. When he played for Rainbow, I think they played a gig at Monsters of Rock, and he had his drum solo lit up by helicopter searchlights. I mean, I remember like hearing that and thinking that I want that to be me. Probably tried to mock it up in my bedroom with some torches, and why not? And that was only like last week. Look at that drum kit. That's an amazing kit. He's got a fantastic setup. I love it. It's kind of almost a perfect kit for me. Double kick, really kind of relatively low but deep rock toms, and no cymbals, quite low. Everything, and it's like a metal finish on that. It's a wood kit, but they have a metal finish on it. Love it. Ozzy Osbourne. So thanks to Mick who brought these in. Bark at the Moon. A couple of different variations of this, but that's a great pressing, great copy. Ronnie James Dio. I had a bit of Dio in, and I've still got actually quite a bit left. And then we talked about Man of War. Oh, and I've written a note in here saying Roger the Defender took. And this is why these videos are so long, because I've always got sort of it's like being on with like bloody Ronnie Corbett in it, with the amount of anecdotes that I've got. But anyway, this is collectible. This Sign of the Hammer original UK press. So I've got that on for 40 quid, but there's always a deal to be done. So very quickly, that is like most metal. If you've never heard of Man of War, I guess you can tell. Sorry about my arm anyway. I guess you can tell that they're quite metal. You want to look them up, and it just looks absolutely ridiculous, but I think they're pretty serious. But give them a look. But I've written this note, Roger the Defender, because I remember when I was at college and we were all heading out. I was in college in the West Midlands, and we were all heading out to a famous club in Birmingham called Eddie's Number 8, which if you've ever been there, it's a great little rock club. And I remember, I think we were coming back, and this guy we were with was really into like his Man of War and metal like that, and he used to wear chainmail used to wear like chainmail to go to like rock clubs. And I remember we got in the car to come home, and he left his like chainmail glove on the roof while he was finishing off his can of Special Brew or whatever. And then I think we drove like a couple of miles down the road, and I think Roger, and his name, he called himself Roger the Defender, right? I'll just never forget it. And I don't even think his name was Roger. And I don't even know who he's defending, to be honest. Maybe Man of War's, you know, I don't know. But and we stopped, and we got out of the car, and seriously, the thing was on the roof, this like chainmail gauntlet thing. It was still on the roof of the bloody Talbot Horizon or whatever the car was, or you know, it's probably like a Rover 216 or something, and it was still on the roof. Oh, that was great. Roger the Defender. God, I wonder, I bet he's an accountant now. Anyway, loads of singles. Jam, Blondie, Jam, Japan, as you'd expect. Got loads of these in. These are all going to be priced up. Bowie, Japan. What have we got? More Japan. These are all from that collection. Jam. These are not priced up yet. But some more other interesting stuff. Rosillos. Can you see that? Rosillos, Pete Shelley. Blondie. So it's nice when they come in the sleeve, isn't it? It's nice when you get the sevens, and if you're into collecting them, they come in the sleeves. Also got some more collectible sevens here. So they'll all. I'm starting to price stuff up because I'm trying to start to work on the jukebox. So I'm picking up things that I want to put in there. Again, the jukebox works. If you come into the shop, just ask me and I'll show you. But it just needs a good clean up. So we've got like Space Oddity, David Bowie there. We've got Cream, original sevens. This is, what's this? 2-7 Clash. It's the Mighty 2, made in Jamaica. No, not completely rare, but it's nice to get a Jamaican press record in. I don't really get them, and people really love them and collect them, and they're quite interesting. They're quite DIY. I rarely get them. Some Beatles there. This is interesting. Red Label, Please Please Me. I have got the correct EMI sleeve. I just took it out and put it in this for now. And these Red Label, Please Please Me, Love Me Do's can be quite rare, and they're getting quite collectible. So I've got one of them in. I think they're going for like 70 quid online. I'm not going to price it that much. And then some interesting T-Rex, original T-Rex records. What's this one? By the Light of the Magical Moon. For a little word, T-Rex, kind of like late 60s T-Rex. All right, I think that's it. No, I don't want to put this down. I'll remember there's something else that I wanted to tell you like there was last week, and I can't remember what it is now. So it's, the artist's playing Sun Tzu a week on Saturday. Come down to that 4:30. It's free. The last Saturday of every month I have free gigs on. So come on down to that. If you're thinking of getting gifts for Christmas or anything, I do vouchers. We've got these great prints still in. We can do any sort of print that you want. We've got some posters. We do the vouchers. We've got some hi-fi. The only other thing I'll show you next week, but a little bit of a teaser. I got a copy of Village Green. Now, I actually bought a copy, and this is classic for a record collector. Not a record collector. What you do is you see a collectible record, you buy it, and then you're always on the lookout to see if you can use that to upgrade to a better version. So I bought a better version, and this is my original. I put this as a very good plus, and I bought a near mint one, going back to that grading. So this is going to go online soon. This is not going to be cheap. This is original mono. I collect stuff like Kinks. I really like the Kinks. So I collect that. So I'll give you a bit more. I'll show you that next week, and we can get into the world of some high-end collectibles, and I'll show you the record and show you how it's kind of priced if anybody's interested in that. Look, we're getting on for 25 minutes, so I'm going to go. All right, take care. Have a great weekend, everyone. Open today, Friday until 5, tomorrow Saturday until 5, 11 till 3 Sundays, and Tom works here on a Sunday. Tom is great. Just come and talk to him about music, and you won't get out of the shop. All right, take care. Bye, guys. I've got a little doofer to turn it off. Hang on, where's my doofer? I'm still here. It's not worked, was it?